5 tips on creating a lead funnel that converts. Hey, this is Peng Joon here, and today I'm going to show you why probably the most important funnel, the funnel that helps you get leads, this squeeze page or opt-in page, the page that helps you gather somebody's information, the name and email address. 5 tips that you can implement right now that will significantly increase your numbers, your conversions, as well as your opt-ins. Okay, now what is it? Now, you've probably heard this multiple times in the past, which is basically, if you are not building an email list, you are not building a business. If you take a look at every single business, the one thing that they need, every single business, regardless of niche, regardless of industry, is every single niche needs more leads. Now, in the online world, how do you actually get somebody's name and email address? How do you make it more compelling? How do you increase the conversions? Now, if you take a look at the evolution of it all, okay, it's this. For the longest time, many marketers 15, 20 years ago have used newsletter. And newsletter is probably the worst way to get somebody's name and email, right? Because it sounds, what does it sound like? It sounds like spam. It sounds horrible. Now, the average way is to give out an ebook. Now, that's average and will only get you an average result. Why? Because learning is a very painful word. If you want to get much better results, here's number 1. Number 1 is to think about the thing that you are giving away, the offer. Okay, that's number 1. Now, what is a great offer? A great offer is something that sounds like done with you or done for you. You see, these 2 parts here is how you can increase the perceived value of your offer. One of the worst ways to get somebody's name and email address is if it sounds like DIY. What is DIY? An ebook is DIY. Something that sounds like they need to take the effort, read through a book, and then do it themselves. The first thing to do if you want to increase the effectiveness of generating leads online, think about what is something for free that you can give away that sounds like it is more done with you or done for you. Now, what does this mean? It means that if I wanted to generate leads and if I am in the niche of fitness, rather than giving away an ebook on how to get 6-pack abs, a much more effective way would be saying, this is my personal grocery shopping checklist that I use to get 6-pack abs, because abs is made in the kitchen and not at the gym. Enter your name and email for my personal grocery shopping list. Now, the first thing that happens is I don't have to sit down and try to write a 250-page ebook, which makes it easier for you because you don't have to write a book. But number 2, the perceived value and the likelihood of somebody giving you their name and email address now is much higher, because it sounds like I don't need to go through a very painful process of learning. So that's number 1. Number 1 is, how can you create an offer that sounds like it's more done with you as well as done for you? Now, words that you could be using are words like checklist, cheat sheet, process, mind map, swipe file, so that you can copy and paste, model and deploy, use it instantly. You see, think about it this way. If, let's say, I want to sell my services on Facebook, some training on Facebook. A horrible way, the worst way to do this, I'm just trying to get this to scroll right here. Got some technical difficulty. Okay, so the worst way to do it would be enter your name and email on everything you need to know about Facebook ads. Right? Again, it will get me average results, but it sounds very painful. What if it was changed to enter your name and email address to receive my top 10 converting ads of 2019 so that you can model and deploy them straight away? If, let's say, I had a course on email marketing, rather than saying enter your name and email address on everything you need to know about email marketing and what's working right now, what if it was in 2019 I compiled the top 50 email titles with the highest open rates. Enter your name and email to receive what my top 50 email titles were with the highest open rates so that you can literally just copy and paste them in your email marketing campaigns. Wouldn't you agree that would be a lot more compelling, which is also at the same time easier for me to create rather than a 350-page ebook on everything you need to know about email marketing? So the first hack, the first strategy, the first tip on increasing your conversions on your lead funnel to make it more effective is changing it towards done with you and done for you. Okay, that's number one. Number two is to think about this, which is your title, your header, which is the hook. That's number two. What is the hook that you are using in order to get somebody's attention? When the person lands on your page, the first thing they're gonna see and they're gonna read is your hook. That is the thing that captures their attention. Is it free case study reviews, free blueprint, free download, free mind map, free cheat sheet? So this is when you're gonna take the words that I gave you earlier, mind map, cheat sheet, swipe file, and what is the result it generates? Okay, so what is the hook? Why should they care? Changing the hook and giving the huge payoff, the result it generates inside your hook is crucial. So that's number two. What is the hook? Number three, the subheader, which is the story. Now, what is the story? The story amplifies the offer. So the story would be, in 2019, I spent over $1 million on Facebook ads, and I compiled the winners so that you can copy, model, and deploy the Facebook ads that were winners in 2019. Enter your name and email to download these ads. I compiled the top email to the highest open rates so that you can use, model, and copy. Right? Enter your name and email to receive what these email titles were. Did you know that abs are made in the kitchen and not at the gym? I researched and wrote down 7 different superfoods that you need to be consuming right now if you want to lose weight and eat right, even if you have a busy lifestyle. Okay? The subheader is the story. Okay? The header, by the way, is the hook. The hook is basically a thing that gets them attention. The story is basically why should they care. It's basically what amplifies your offer. Okay? So that's number 3. Number 3 is, what is your subheader right now, and does it have your story inside this that amplifies the offer? And number 4, the call to action, which is over here. What is the call to action? A good call to action, it requires minimal effort, minimal learning. Here's what most people's call to action are. Most people, their call to action is
click to find out more.
It's the most horrible way to get somebody to take action. Nobody wants to
Find out more.
People want to, this is when you use the words, model, copy and paste, deploy immediately, download, swipe, ethically copy. So this is when you would say, enter your name and email below to swipe my top winning titles of 2019 so that you can use them immediately. That is a good call to action. Do you have a call to action that makes them want to take action, that makes them feel like there's minimal learning, minimal action required, that makes them feel that they get immediate value just by giving their name and email address to you, even if they didn't take action immediately? That brings us to number 5. And before I reveal to you what number 5 is, in the description box below, one of the things that you'll realize is I've actually built a few different lead funnels that's already proven to convert, and all you need to do is literally swipe and copy and paste it. Notice what I just did there? Now in the box below, you'll be able to see all these different lead funnels that you'll be able to implement using the software that I personally use to create funnels like these. It's called ClickFunnels. And if you use the link below, I'm gonna give you a few different samples following these principles that you can swipe and deploy straight away. So that brings us to number 5. Do you know what number 5 is? Number 5 is this piece over here. Do you have a visual representation attached to what it is that you're giving away for free? So whether it is a checklist, a blueprint, a swipe file, a downloadable product, people are visual creatures. They want to be able to see what is it that they are gonna get. So number 5 is, do you have a visual representation to show them? What does this checklist, cheat sheet, swipe file, blueprint, mind map, what does this thing look like? Because when you have this thing in here, this is going to dramatically increase the conversions of getting a lead. And by the way, you don't have to do this himself. I've never done a piece of graphic like this. Get somebody who's a freelancer who can, if you're not a graphic designer, which chances are you're not. Let me know in the comments below, what is something that you can create that adds massive value to your audience, where they will give you their name and email address that you are going to commit to creating right now. I'd love to hear what it is. And as always, this is Peng Joon here. If you like a video like this one, go ahead and click on subscribe, and I'll see you in future videos.